channel. Alright guys, today this set of readings is what you need to know. And Leo, the pre-download, hello. Ooh. Okay, my Black Panther, a cat, wants to be acknowledged by you. You are also the rebirth through fire, Black Panther. Black Panther, let me write that down for you. You may need to watch that movie, Black Panther. Or you did watch that movie, will be relevant. Leo, I feel like you are looking at an incident or an issue from your past that has come up. There's a lot of disturbance with you. And it was kind of a tower moment, whatever. I feel like it was some people you were dealing with. That these people who were heavily narcissistic, that stunted your creativity. There was a situation again, you were dealing with apex predators. I'm seeing tyrants. I'm seeing the Tyrannosaurus Rex. You were dealing with tyrants. You yourself are a tyrant. How do I want to word that? I don't think you would see yourself as a tyrant. And I don't think your aim isn't tyranny. It's, as you try to rise or manifest or work with your gifts, your innate gifts, Leo. Calling on the archangels to work with you at this time to help me channel the messages clearly for Leo, that they need to help me to channel what I need to see and know for Leo at this time. I've gotten so many pre-downloads for you. Okay. I was also getting a wrinkle in time. A wrinkle in time. It's something about your creativity. Of course, you rule our 5th house of creativity. It's how you express yourself. Your creative flow and energy, that was stunted for a while. I feel like though you're digging back into the past. You're digging back into old motivation. Digging back into what really, trying to uncover even what really inspires you to create. And where does this area of creation come from? Is it from your innate desire just to express yourself, or is it some level up, or needing a desire to be better than the person around you, or literally to be kind of like a tyrant? And this is nothing accusatory. We can all feel this way too, because we want ultimately we want to be the best. We do want to be. And we are the best in our own minds anyway. And some of you literally are the best. And you could be the best at what you do, and it's come with a lot of hard work. It's come with a lot of time, energy, and dedication. You've worked very hard at mastering your creations. You are masters in that way. I think you're learning how to not seek the approval, though, of those around you for that which you seek. And interestingly, Leo, we're also looking at the art of MC Escher for this round of readings. And I was drawn to this one for you. Something about a job that you had in the past that really drained your resources. I feel like you were the single source of creativity in this environment, or let's just say you weren't the single source, but your creative skills were heavily needed in this environment. They could even be heavily needed now in the current environment that you're in. I'm feeling like you had a destination in mind. And it's bringing you right back to the origin of something. It's almost like what I'm seeing is these crocodiles who are in this certain dimension. They live in the 2D dimension. And it's almost like they're evolving. They're evolving into 3D. We're raising dimensions, right? And they're making their way around this pond, okay? And they're being educated through knowledge, through the books here, the information that they're consuming, and then they're just steadying their course along. They keep going along this ascension. They're maybe even scaling some sort of triangle pyramid here. There's a height of knowledge that's being attained, maybe. Or maybe some of you also desire to go back to school. Maybe you would seek to attain more knowledge. Then there's this outside knowledge out here that you're also being influenced by, or there's something you're being called to remember. You will be called in the near future to get more information, or to maybe even write your own book or your own series or something. There's something about your own knowledge that you're going to be documenting. And through this journey that you've been on has kind of even been somewhat of a treacherous path, and you've had to even take a leap of faith into the unknown. And then all this alligator crocodile is doing is climbing right back down into this 2D thought again. I'm seeing a wrinkle in time, because what I feel like is this alligator, all he really wanted to do was get from one side of the pond to the other. He wanted to get from one side to the other. But in order to do that, he couldn't move in this 2D stagnant energy. He had to go on a journey. He had to go on the fool's journey. He had to get knowledge and get education and scale the ranks and learn about community and co-workers and companions and all these different lessons and levels that you technically had to go through along the way, only to finally arrive at the side of the pond that you were really aiming for. And it's right where you started. Kind of. How do you fold time to manifest instantly? And we also even have the word J-O-B here. Well, Job, technically. But it could also be like job. Like maybe there's a job that you're doing, or again, a work and a creation that you're creating, and many of you are artists who are watching this. And you're trying different styles, you're trying different techniques, you're trying different ways, maybe even creative ventures. But at the end of the day, it's almost like what you end with is the very thing you started with. So it's almost like you had the skill all along, or the very thing you started with was really what you were the whole time, or something about being good enough. You are good enough, Leo. You are. And I think now maybe you just have a different understanding of that, or a different perspective. It's landed you right back where you started. Huh. Let's see. There's messages here. And interesting ones. Meant for many of you, some idea that you had in the past. Ooh, Hanged Man, yeah. Ooh, we had a timeout, right? You're changing your mind about a job, or a career. You're literally changing your mind. You've arrived right back at where you started. Maybe you don't think it's getting you anywhere. Interesting. Interesting. That's not quite it, though. It's like all you really wanted to do was get to the other side of the pond. All you really wanted to do was to be, get to the highest rank that you could possibly get. But we had to go on the journey of getting there, maybe understanding that the journey is the most important part of this aspect, what you've learned along the way. Because now I think you're getting ready to revisit something from your past. And I'm seeing something to do from your childhood. Mice could be significant for you, or a mouse. Maybe you have even gotten new computer equipment, or you work in like graphic design. Maybe you need a new tool or a technique to do this thing, to complete this project, or something about your tools were slowing you down because they were, or this could even be like a family member, a job setting. Something was slowing you down from getting you where you wanted to go because it couldn't keep up with you. It couldn't do what you do. Even it could be you feel like the tools you have at your disposal were kind of limiting you in some way, or maybe you had to, maybe you were the limited one and you had to undergo a course of education in order to understand your tools better. Maybe the tools weren't really the problem at all. Maybe it was the way you were using them. Maybe it was the way you were applying your knowledge that you learned that was keeping you held back in a particular field. So it wasn't necessarily the tool itself or the environment itself. It was the conditioning that we were programmed to use, how we were programmed to use these tools, how we taught ourselves. Many of you are also self-taught, though. Many of you are self-taught. Wow, we are 11 minutes into your reading. Is it very interesting? I always get education readings with you. Not that that's bad. I love it. I love it for you. You and Sage. You and Sage. Maybe you're... Now, Sage is our code breaker. But you apply the tools. It's like you have the best mastery of the tools around you. Because you... And I'm getting very heavily technique. With many of my Leos, there's something about you understanding technique. You worked very hard at this. Okay. Root. Ooh. The Nine of Cups at the root chakra. A new job, a new position, or a promotion. Many of you are going to see that, and that was the wish, right? The wish fulfillment that you had to rise to a new level at the foundation of your reading. It's saying, could also say that in the past you had this dream to attain personal wish fulfillment in an area of your life. Okay? Obviously. How are we going about doing that, right? How are we, this has to do with our foundation. It can also just say that you are personally very satisfied in what you did. You loved, personally, what you do for your work, for your foundation, how you provide, how you show up. Your root feels good. You're happy. Sacral. Temperance. I told you you're going to have to talk to Sag. Cancer also just got that message too. Then at the sacral, Temperance. Time to master this thing. Time to cultivate. Ooh, I'm seeing the hair in here. Time to work with cooperation. Could this also be in your work environment? Yes. Time to learn how to coexist. To not be a tyrant, because you already kind of feel like a master to me, but again, and you know how to work your tools, but how do you apply the knowledge? Sagittarius' reading, by the way, if I remember correctly, their last reading was about doing what was best for themselves and the group. Many of you are dealing with a Sagittarius. It was about doing what was best for themselves and the group. Leo, maybe there's something you could learn from that. You have the right skill. You have the right technique. It's not what you say, though. It's how you say it. It's how you apply the knowledge. You can also get tongue-tied and tied up in the technique of something versus maybe the feeling of it. Because we have balancing the emotions here. Temperance is mastering water alchemy. It's mastering balancing water and fire. It's about balancing the emotional body. Also, temperance can suggest at the sacral, we've had anger issues, especially maybe with our sexual partners. We've had bouts of frustration and there with our partners, for sure. Okay, you can be seen as selfish sometimes, or you see your person as selfish sometimes, or you feel like that there needs to be balance there. Okay, yeah, balance for sure. 2 signs of balance here with justice coming out at the solar plexus. Coming out at the solar plexus. Libra energy here now. Ooh, wait. At the solar, our powerhouse, we feel there needs balance, fairness, fair financial settlements, and a fair financial settlement is about to be reached in whatever endeavor, whatever you're currently going through. It's really good energy for you. It's good energy. Why do I feel like you kind of, there's a niggling kind of like in the back of your mind about how something was attained or how someone attained something? Was it fair? Was it just? Did someone obtain knowledge or gain experience in a fair manner? That's interesting. You are the person. It's just the questions are here, so just take it as it see fits, okay? At the solar plexus, I feel like justice is being had in your sun placement. Okay. And you could definitely be a sun sign Leo. I almost actually just said Libra, though, so you could be a sun Libra. Maybe you have Leo in your other placements. Either way, sun Leo with Libra or Sagittarius in your chart. Doesn't matter. The signs are really kind of irrelevant, and please, just because it says Leo in the title doesn't necessarily mean you won't resonate with it. It's just if the title caught your eye, then there's a message for you. Okay? It doesn't matter what the sign is. It really doesn't. But we're going to see balance and fairness in our powerhouse. This is our workstation, our creative station, our energy source. What gives us energy? What fuels us? We're about to see fairness where this is concerned, or we are. All right, at the heart, we have the High Priestess. Goodness gracious. All majors here now. Take advantage of your inner knowing, and she's holding the book again here. You have the knowledge, Leo. Back to the photo here, though. It's like this knowledge over here that you have, it's a side knowledge. Literally, it's aside, okay? It's aside from this course of action that you're on. Some of you have taken a detour. Literally, a detour is what I'm getting for you. You've taken a detour on your path to enlightenment. A detour. You were maybe even given one, or shown one, or you had to go on a different path of enlightenment. Okay? There's this pond, the pond of family, school, life in general. There's been this way around it, and we've done this for years, right? And there are different levels to this. But on the way, you kind of took another path, I feel like, and it was in regards to your knowledge, your intuition. Where did that factor into this decision here? Okay. Where you come from is pretty rough. I know this because of the cactus here. It's like you are self-reliant, self-sufficient. I know many of you are self-starters as well. You do this on your own because of your sheer love of because of the sheer love of what you do. You're a self-starter in many ways. And you've had to be. And you frankly admire that. I think you enjoy that about yourself. I don't think you have a problem with that at all. You like your independence. You came out as the 9 of Cups. You definitely like your independence. You can be seen as selfish, though. Okay? Occasionally. Or just self-centered around. So what? You know what? So what? If you've earned it, and I feel like many of you have, you've put in the time, you've put in the dedication, the effort, the drive to, and more than likely it's also about in your own education, and education is playing a huge role in the astrology right now. I feel like I told you, like, Sagittarius energy is heavy right now. The ninth, really, it's the ninth house, and that rules our education. It rules philosophy. It rules everything we're kind of doing right now. We're going back to the grassroots to understand the origins of why we're here. We're asking more philosophical questions. We're curious. We're simply curious, you know. Leo, that's part of this life existence. The day your curiosity dies, I mean, you might as well die, you know? The day we stop being curious should be the day we die. Curiosity. Did curiosity kill the cat, though? Interesting. Did curiosity kill the cat? Along the way, and your intuition and the heart space was warning you maybe about that? The High Priestess? Your inner knowing? I don't think so. Let's see, at the throat. Ace of Pentacles. Boom! New opportunities. No, if anything, it invigorated your sense of what you were cultivating. The Ace of Pentacles is work, though. It requires nurture, care. You're going to have a new job coming up, by the way. A new opportunity, a new work venture. It could be temporary. Okay? It could be a temporary one. But I think, maybe not. The Ace of Pentacles is one you have to... This is going to be a little outside your comfort zone, or you might feel like, I got it. A practical venture in the throat chakra. You're speaking about it. You could even be a public speaker. Doesn't have to be. But this opportunity that you maybe even didn't feel qualified for, you're going to receive it anyway. You're more than qualified. You're more than qualified to do this thing. And to use all the knowledge and information and time, personal satisfaction, you're going to be very satisfied in this new venture. And maybe you're wondering, do I have the knowledge or skill to maintain this thing? Yes, if you just use your knowledge that you've gained, which is consistency, practical consistency. Just show up for it every day, the way you always have. Approach it the same way you've approached your life thus far, with dedication. This could even be just a change in belief or values, like at a core level where we're accepting new. You're good enough. You really are. You really are. And I think someone actually really needs to hear that. Okay? You're more than good enough. And you are loved, too, by the way. You're very loved. You're about to be very lucky. Okay? You don't believe it, though. But this is just proof to me. This is what you're afraid of. You're afraid of this new beginning. You're addressing a deep fear around, in the brow chakra, addressing a deep fear around new opportunities. It's like you know it's coming. The High Priestess is here. You know it's coming. You can feel it. You can feel it coming. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Yeah, tonight. Tonight. At night. Nine of Swords for me actually is always a foretelling. You might even see it in our dreams. You might even dream it. You might have recently even dreamed about a new job or something coming up in your field, something you're doing. Maybe even it could be a person, it could be a relationship too, but I don't know. There's a lot of news you're waiting on. There's a lot of pigeons perched on this electricity wire. Something about your electricity or sun. Something needed to be paid. You could have recently defaulted on your electric bill or something like that, or electricity was cut off temporarily. Again, it was temporary. You got it balanced. You got it organized just right. Okay. You got it fixed. You paid your bill. But you were in the dark for a minute. I feel like and it just scares you. The lack of the scarcity scares you. But some of you were also injured. Yeah, you felt handicapped. You were worried about being handicapped in a situation. Some of you, something about whatever you do for work could involve risk. It's risky, right? Like maybe maybe you got injured and you need to be careful. Just a forewarning that this new job requires you to maintain your health, maintain your stability. Maybe you did suffer an injury. That's why temperance is here. Something you really enjoyed in the past, but you maybe injured yourself, and so you couldn't obtain. Time has now done the work to balance justice in your life. It took out your powerhouse, but justice is here to grant you this power back that you felt like you didn't have. Ace of Pentacles now, it's all about how you cultivate it, and you could be seeing a lot of bees around you at this time. Bees really also represent the summertime, so this job, this opportunity, this situation is going to heal for you around the summertime, if you were wondering. Again, Nine of Swords is really a foretelling. It's also perseverance. You have 2 nines in your reading, which tells me you're persevering through some sort of fear of adversity or fear of failure or fear of injury. I'm getting that. Maybe you have, I'm speaking to someone who I feel like has either suffered either a leg injury or some sort of injury to the lower half of your body. And you could have been an athlete. You could be anything like that. Just done some sort of work that requires the physical use of your body, and or even the physical use of your mind. Again, the Nine of Swords is dreams, but our dreams felt like you couldn't reach them, or you were afraid of them. You were afraid of your own dream. That was an illusion, though, Leo. Okay? Something was designed to make you afraid to dream. Afraid to dream. Yeah. In the Crown, 5 of Swords, some winning at all costs person or scenario, the energy around you that wanted you to sabotage. That is the self-sabotage. You're getting this opportunity, but in your mind, at the height of your crown, is this energy of self-sabotage. It's really personal defeat, okay? We're working through that, and it's really, I feel like, about affirmations that you're telling or need to tell yourself. It's how you're wording things. You're really doing a lot of research right now. Some of you are looking at self-help healing. You're a self-starter. You're self-motivated to understand this part of yourself so that you can break through the obstacle, so that you can break through the boundary of your own mind. Okay, 5 is breakage. 5 is change. Okay, so it tells me that you will, but yes, it's been a struggle. It has been a struggle, but you will, because you have a new opportunity coming up, but you can't be afraid to receive it. You've been afraid to receive it. Why? Because maybe someone would try to beat you or sabotage you, or maybe, or even hurt you. I got that. And I was really drawn to the crocodile here in the photo that reached this kind of like a plateau. It's like you got as high as you could go. But now you got to take a leap. Something about leaping into this cup. It's like an ink cup, an ink cartridge cup that's holding. Maybe literally someone had to jump into something that wasn't safe, and it appeared not to be safe, or that there wasn't a lot of support or stability. There's a lot of interference in this cup, but it's You can't go back because the person behind you is right behind you. They're on your tail, right? They're on your flank. In other words, it's about I want to be ahead of the person in front of me. I'm getting swimming now. Some of you are swimmers. And I know this from swimming myself. Sometimes it was hard to maintain leadership or be in the lead because you had to fight against the wake of your own of the wave that you created, the current that you were creating in the water as you swam. And the person behind you could literally use the energy, the force off of your current that you were ahead of to basically ride your coattails. Something about riding coattails, okay? But it's a real thing in the water when you're swimming. When someone's behind you, they can basically ride off of your energy and steal from you and steal your current, steal your energy. And it's harder sometimes to stay in the lead. It's harder sometimes to stay in the lead than it is to follow, than it is to ride the wave of someone else. Okay? There's something about that. But again, this crocodile here knows he's at the crux point. He's got to take a leap into this thing. And everyone has to technically take this leap. They got to do it on their own. And it depends how much skill you've gained along the way, how much knowledge you have, or sometimes the knowledge is simply letting go and just trusting. Something about also like he's breathing out smoke. And in the water, it's about breath work. Breath work, Leo. You're doing a meditation, and maybe some of you really need to do more meditation that involves breathing. And when you breathe into your core. You breathe into your powerhouse, which is the solar chakra, which is where justice is going to be relevant for you. That's why we see air here. Even yin and yang on the high priestess, she's holding a yellow scarf. She's holding a yellow scarf, and balance, yin and yang, masculine and feminine energies, is shown at the core, at the solar plexus. So Leo, use your intuition. You are balancing the solar plexus. You have the power within you to go after this new thing. It's going to require a leap of faith from you, though. Okay, you got to believe you can. You got to believe you can do this thing. King of Wands, there you are. There you are. Leo, you can do this. You can do this. Okay? Inspiration, possible new job, and clarity about where you're going. Maybe, hopefully, if this has helped you, let me know. You can do this, Leo. Okay? And no one's going to ride your coattails to get there. Everyone has to take that leap of faith on their own. Advice, please, for Leo. Radical change and transformation. Wow. It's a strong message there. Death. Got to be willing to embrace the end. Got to be willing to jump. We saw the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is held in suspension, right? It's being afraid to let go. So for many of you, that's going to look like different. Maybe you have to let go of a relationship in order to grow. Maybe you have to let go of an old job that was really relying too much on you, too heavily on you to maintain it, to sustain it, to be the creative engine that supported it. One step at a time at Knight of Pentacles, you're going to be moving forward slowly. But they won't be able to follow you where you're going. This energy can't follow you where you're going. Everyone has to take this jump by themselves. Everyone has to endure death alone. And that is your advice. Wow. What a powerful message for you, Leo. You're going to undergo radical transformation. Scorpio now in your reading. Ooh, bearing fruit. On the split, number 12, the Hanged Man. What does the Hanged Man do? He's hanging from the tree. Trees are significant right now. Everyone's getting a message about trees. But I also typically associate the tree with you. Like the Ogum tree. Ogham tree. I always get that for you, Leo. It's ancestors. It's root work. Root work. Okay. Many of you identify with trees already. It's foundation. Okay. Trees are legs. Many of you have suffered some sort of leg injury of some kind throughout your life. It doesn't necessarily have to be legs, guys, but some bodily injury, okay? I just feel the need to say that. That's not for everybody. For Leo, please. To close out you got a longer reading today. Well, longer than everybody else. Oh. For Leo. Clear jumper, please. For Leo. Whoa. Ears wide open, number 33. We have a fox, Leo. We have a fox, but look at your colors, the color variations. You understand, some of you could do like graphic design. You understand the colors. You work with color. There's a lot of, you're so creative. You're so powerful. Whoa, the rose's kiss. Symbol of the rose could be significant for you too. Be careful. There's an energy that doesn't want you to see your true potential. I feel like you know that. But be careful you're not fighting against the wrong energy too. I also feel the need to tell you that. Okay? Really, sometimes the true enemy can be ourselves when we self-sabotage. Or if we've come out of traumatic situations in the past, it doesn't. Maybe. Anyway, 33. It's interesting that you would have that kind of a message, though, because it seems like you came from very humble beginnings, very loving beginnings. I feel like you're the kind of people who've been very self-assured for most of your lives. For most of your lives, you've actually been pretty self-assured, self-confident. Or have you? Because this issue, all of a sudden, is making you doubt in your own confidence, in your own gusto, in what you're about. Why? Hanged Man at the beginning of your reading, you saw something or a person from a different perspective. You saw a new way of looking at something that maybe changed the way you viewed something. Changed the way you viewed the world. Now, for many of you, it could have been literal death that you were dealing with. And when you go through transformation like that, a person around you, those are when those awakenings happen that really teach you about who you are. You know? There's something about that. Not trying to trigger anybody. All right. Deep listening as a gift we give to others, understanding someone else's needs, showing focused attention, tuning into another and letting go of the ego's need to be heard. The world is constantly speaking to us and offering clues about what is really going on beneath the surface of things. We all have the capacity to hear beyond the noise that reaches our ears. The challenge is when we feel misunderstood and unheard. When we feel insignificant, it's easy to over-explain ourselves in an attempt to get acknowledged. Now is the time to let all that go. Offer your attention as the great gift it is. It's time to stop multitasking, checking your phone, thinking of what you're going to say next, and doing all the other things that keep you from connecting fully. Breath work, Leo. Whenever we are in a state of chaos and distraction, paying attention to only some of what is being said, we lose the ability to pick up on everything, including that which is not being said. Deep listening is the way in which we immerse ourselves in the truth of the world. In this way, with ears wide open, we also Open our hearts and minds to understand more than what is conveyed through words alone. Opportunities arrive from the subtle cues we miss when we are not 100% present. Purposeful, open listening is an act of true respect and intimacy. When you are in the space of receptivity, letting go of the need to be heard or to be right, you become expansive and alert to meaningful potential. Right now, keep your ears wide open and you will find more than you were searching for. On page 99, and we kind of have 99 here. 9 energy working with you, Leo. You could be seeing 999. Don't listen in order to react. Many people do that. You listen in order to respond instead of to truly listen to another person. Okay? To truly hear what's going on. So try listening, quieting the mind, listening more. Talk less, listen more. Talk less, Leo. Listen more. Leo, this was your message. I hope you found something here. I hope this served you in any way. I hope maybe you listened. Alright. I love you guys so much. We'll see you later. Take care for now.